Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch and be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of the Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here. I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. And understand, sometimes even I can't get a word in myself. So be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or your comment. By the way, you only can do this during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos that Sparky does on this channel informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up. And please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. I mean, it's like going to Starbucks and getting one of their lattes or one of their concoctions once a month. That's not a lot. As a matter of fact, I'm doing it myself and I don't have to. So I'm not asking you to do something I'm not doing myself, okay? Please support your hobby. Hopefully this is your passion as well. And if you don't want to do the super chat, if you don't want to do the memberships, another way of showing your support is through using the super chat, which is located below the chat box over here. Come on in and hit the donation there at the super chat, and maybe come back and watch the whole show in its entirety, maybe, or in pieces at a later date. So come in and make your donation, because that's the only time you can do it is during a live stream. So come in during this time, make your donation, and then come back and watch the replay, which a lot of people do. Now, your support offsets some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, if you decide to join our membership, you have access to member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. I have my own channel. So if you want to get in touch with me, because I don't check the comments here, I just come in Monday and Friday, set up the show, set it up to YouTube, and then I don't come back again until the next following show. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you will locate the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which is a video of me flying Sparky's beautiful, it was orange back then, and it was light, and it still is light, and it's a beautiful flying plane. It's Junar XL. And watch me do the pattern, and that was like my bucket list day for me there at the Nationals. And I was taking care of Sparky's plane. I didn't want anything to happen to his plane, so I kept it out of danger. But check it out. Tell me what you think. Comment, subscribe, and that'd be greatly appreciated. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm now going to post a link at the Stunthangar forum. So let me go do that now. And let's see here. Hope everybody had a great weekend and had a chance to work in the shop or maybe go flying. Let me see here. Posted. All right. Okay, so the link is posted at Stunthangar forum. If you're in our audience curious how to get into the Zoom meeting, that's how you do it, is through the Stunthangar forum. You must be a registered member to see the link that's posted at the bench. It's called At the Bench. And anyways, let me make my way to YouTube and go to the control panel. And let me see, it looks like we are streaming, which is good. My video is kind of choppy though. So I don't know what's going on. I know I need to do something about it. I don't think about it until I do the show. Let me see here. I want to go here. So let's see here. I actually attempted to go flying today. It was not really blowing a hooey like Lynn Burrell would say, but it was pretty windy, and I'm flying a new plane to me. It's a Brodak Cardinal profile, and I've only flown it twice, just level laps and did some loops and outside loops and flew inverted and upright just to kind of check it out. It was nose heavy, and I made some changes over the weekend. I'm pretty excited about it. I actually removed 2.5 ounces of nose weight. So I really suspect it's going to turn more to my liking. So I'm a little disappointed, but I didn't want to do any trimming or fly a new plane in that kind of conditions with the wind blowing. And they had the lawnmowers out. They were getting ready to mow the lawn, which I'm happy to see that, because the grasses are getting a little bit tall out there. And so I didn't want to impede them mowing the lawn. So I didn't end up going flying, unfortunately. Looks like we have 7 concurrent viewers, 9 likes. Thank you so much for that. And Gary Sinclair is the first one in the chat box. Gary is a member of our YouTube channel. He's also a monitor on the chat box. So, you know, tread nicely, or Gary will take care of you on my behalf. So he provides a like, and looks like we are cooking now with gas. Yeah, so getting back to what I did, and I probably ended up repeating this, I found some carbon fiber landing gear, which I swapped out with the aluminum landing gear that the I believe the plane came with that, and it has some heavy wheels. And I found some Dubro, like feather, I think they're called micro light wheels. They're 2.5 inches in diameter, plastic spokes, and then it has like a rubber or foam tire. Very, very light. I think I weighed them. They were like 6 or 7 grams, and the wheels that were on there were like 21 grams. So significant weight savings there. And even the carbon fiber landing gear was a lot lighter than the aluminum landing gear that the plane came with. So I did that, and I have a tongue muffler ready. I haven't installed that. I was going to fly it. So that would be the last thing I do. It already has a wooden prop and a nylon spinner. So that's pretty much all I can do. I already have like 1 ounce of tail weight underneath the stab. I have 4 little stick-on weights. So hopefully when I fly it, it's too sensitive and I can actually remove one of those weights in the back. That'd be nice. But I'm looking forward to flying. I hear nothing but good things about the Cardinal. Now Joe Mata and Carl Reed have seen it fly, and they thought it flies pretty nice. It looks really stable, they said. So looking forward to, I don't know if I'll get out there Thursday or Friday, but I'm kind of anxious to get out there. Hopefully the weather will be better. No, the grass will be cut, which would be nice. Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, doing
good to see you. You know, I know you're gonna know what I'm talking about. You know, I've been thinking, I meant to email you. I'd like to see some whatever rudders you think would look good on Precious Balsa. If you could play around with just different rudders. I think the rudder that's on there is the stock rudder is just doesn't do the plane any justice. So I thought you might, I don't know if you're interested in doing that, but if you could change the rudder shape, see what you think would look good. But I think that rudder looks terrible. Where actually I was looking at it in the garage, looking at I had printed some images and I was looking at it and I go, that rudder is lacking, So I don't know. I just thought it'd be an idea. So how you been?
I'm doing pretty good. That kind of smoky around here today.
Wow.
Maybe it's fires from up there in Canada.
Wow, maybe
On the east side, Canada.
Yeah, maybe.
Out there at Halifax area.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, there's out here it's windy. I mean, it's not as windy as other places, I'm sure, but it's a little bit too windy for me to
fly.
This would be the third flight with this plane, so it's relatively new to me, and I'm not sure with the changes I made if it would be something I want to tangle with in the wind and high winds. Looks like Dennis Adamiston, who's also a member of our YouTube channel. He says, like delivered. Thank you, Dennis. And then John Skukalek, he's also a member of our YouTube channel. Looks like only members are in the chat box right now. I already mentioned yours, Gary. Thank you very much, Gary, for the like. And so John Skukalek provided us the like. So we're batting 1,000 as far as members on the YouTube channel. It looks like we have 12 concurrent viewers. If you're out there watching this, just come in the chat box and if you want, just type in where you're from. I'd like to know where you're from. Just tell me the state and the city in the chat box. That I'd appreciate it. And then maybe what country you're from, what country you're watching. And I'd like to get some more activity into the chat boxes. The chat box is really a part of this show. It really is. So if you don't, if you want to type something else other than that, you can tell me what plane you're flying, or if you have any questions for our illustrious panel when they assemble, that'd be much appreciated. Hey, Stuart, how you doing?
Gold has been a safe haven in times of turmoil.
Looks like Dennis is getting ready to come in. He's connecting his audio. Hey, Dennis, how you doing?
Denny.
How's everybody doing?
Doing good. Doing good. I don't know if Stuart can hear us though. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. I can now. I just had my volume. I didn't realize it was turned off.
All right, no problem. I was wondering. I was saying hi to you, and I didn't know. So
yeah, I was listening to the YouTube just enough to see you begging Gary to give you a new fin. So
yeah.
Aren't you? I mean, I thought, Gary certainly could do it, but I thought you might wait for Santa Claus to come on and, whatever, but he could help you out.
Yeah, I don't know if Santa Claus, I know there's a night that he usually performs, I don't know if he'll be in on Monday nights. I thought Monday nights was maybe it's Friday night, but one of the nights he can't come in. So, but he hasn't been in a while. So I look forward to seeing.
That's true. I think he was here last Monday. He was not here Friday, was he?
Right, he was not here Friday. I remember recently. I was like, "Where's John Miller?"
Yeah.
And we have Marcel Legrand. He says, "Evening, Charles, and to everyone." Good evening to you, Marcel.
So is Precious Balsa a updated Striga?
Yes, basically made the fuselage already. The fuselage is framed up. I just haven't glued the top or bottom blocks to it yet. And I just haven't really, I was telling my wife how frustrated I am this year because, I think last year when I decided I didn't want to fly the SV11 until I fixed the batteries, then I think I did the Brodak P40. That was, all these planes were given to me, the P40, the Talon. Well, I paid for the Talon. And, but they were all in different sorts of where I needed to do some things to get them field ready, whether putting engines in, fuel tanks, terminating lines or new lines like with the Cardinal, and put a lot of effort. In fact, the P40 weight box was bouncing around on the wingtip. I had to fix that, repair the wingtip, went through all kinds of work to go through the process of getting the plane to, you do your first maiden flights, look for level wings, check to get the turn the same, go through all this trimming to get to the point where you can work on yourself. Then the front end, I guess, started delaminating and the engine started vibrating. So I put that plane on the shelf. Then I invested time, energy in the Talon, and then some bug or something went through the wing and to put that plane aside. And I've had to do a lot of work with this Cardinal, and now I'm beginning to fly the Cardinal. And I'm just hoping that this will stay long enough that I can work on it, because I really haven't done much in stunt patterns, where I actually where I have a plane that behaves well, and then you can just work on yourself. It's like, it's all you, the plane goes where it's supposed to go. It stays there, has good habits. Then you can work on yourself. I've just briefly been there where I'm working on me, and then something would come apart, so it's just very frustrating. And the worst thing is, all this time I invested doing all this, could have finished Precious Balsa, could have finished SB11.
Yeah, absolutely.
Frustrating. Because I want to fly every week. So I'm always so anxious to have something ready to fly, because I have people, sometimes 4 to 5 people show up on Fridays, and I want to have fun and fly too. So I'm always thinking about what can I quickly get a plane together that'll fly decent, by Friday, or maybe the following Friday. So that's kind of the treadmill I've been on.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, it wasn't good.
Have you got the Cardinal airborne yet?
Yeah, I have a couple of flights.
Uh-huh.
First flight, I had a bad engine run, ended up having to replace the needle valve. And then that needle valve that I tried did not work, but I finally got a good needle valve, which is an OS Max needle valve, believe it or not. And it has an LA46 in the Cardinal, and it flew pretty good, but it was so nose heavy, to my liking. It might have been fine for someone who likes to hammer the handle, but for me, it wasn't. So I took off it has a stock aluminum landing gear. I guess it came with the kit and some heavy wheels. They might not have been Brodak wheels, but I replaced them with a carbon fiber landing gear and these Dubro micro light wheels, 2.5-inch wheels with the white spokes.
Yep.
And that saved like 2.5 ounces. So I could tell by balancing it, it's balancing somewhere on the spar, around the high point of the wing.
Well, it sounds like, you take the weight out of the landing, you're taking 2.5 ounces off the airplane. That's a good thing. But I can't imagine it moved the CG very far, because it's, landing gear is like virtually right there. So even though 2.5 ounces, it's only a couple inches ahead of the CG. But really, you're way past measuring the CG. I mean, you're measuring it with the with your hand, in the handle and doing maneuvers. So, hey, all else fails, put the tail weight on it. It just bite the bullet, just do it. That's the fastest way to get from A to B.
Yeah, I already have an ounce underneath the stab.
Okay, put an ounce on the other side.
Yeah, so I actually have a 1/2 ounce on each side of the stab. But I was just trying to keep the plane as light as I can, so I thought I'd take weight off before I add any more.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can do that,
heavier,
a spinner and a prop,
put a little bit heavier tail wheel on it too. The tail wheel it had on it was extremely light. I mean, like 2 grams. The wheel I put on there was like 5 grams.
Yeah. So, I put the Mobest with, I think I still have 1.5 ounces back there, or maybe it's 2 ounces in the tail weight box. And it needed it. I spread the handle as far as I could. And
same here.
I put the tail weight in it. I put some more in. And it's working pretty good. So I would like to do some stuff, see if I could lighten up the nose, but I'd have to do some major mods to do that, and just haven't got around to that.
So you got a little box in the back, like you do in
the
front to
Mobest
put.
is designed with a tail weight box.
Oh, okay.
Which was, that was Larry Cunningham design, and that's, he put that in there, and there's room for the 1/2 ounce Brodak weights, which is like, just a double sized, it's like a, what, 3/4 by about 1.5 inch weight. I think I have 1 or 2 of those and a 1/4 ounce on top of that, something like that. So in
That weight
fact, I must
box,
have 3 of them. Yeah.
that weight box square or round? I never-
Rectangular.
Rectangular.
It
Okay.
fits the weights. So yeah, it's a really good idea though, certainly.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice and convenient to cover up the weights and
Mm.
have a weight box so it doesn't look so
Well,
ugly.
it's just like the wingtip weight box. It's just a convenient way to put it and it's secure and everything like that. And yeah, like you say, you're not worried about, you know, fuel soaking into the tape and throwing it off at an inopportune time or anything like that, or, putting a screw through the, drilling a hole in the fuselage and having a new place for oil to leak in and stuff.
Right.
But if you can't lighten the nose with either a really lightweight prop, a light spinner, or a light muffler, then save yourself a lot of grief. Just go ahead, put the lead on the tail until you figure out how much you need and where to, and then measure the CG. And then when you make any changes, just see if you can come back to that same point. So I put a mark on several of my airplanes have Sharpie pen marks on the bottom of the fuselage. And
Where the CG was, and so you can kind of
yeah,
reference
where it is, where it was. Or,
That's a good idea.
Wipe off the old mark, leave the new mark, things like that. So
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
yeah, and I know I've shown you my rig, if you will, hanging it from the lead outs and putting a plumb bob weight down there, and then where it crosses the fuselage, that's it. And so I know that I can keep coming back to that same point pretty easily. So, or come back and measuring it pretty easily. So, because even if you move the lead outs or anything like that, it should still come, the airplane should still hang right through the CG. So.
Right. Let me ask Stuart, what are you working on, Stuart? I see you capping. I'll be right with you.
My accident today.
But what is this plane? What model is this?
I don't know. It's like a slow combat in a sense.
Mhm.
It looks pretty good.
Did a scratch thing, but yeah, I did a number on it today.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
that's part of the maturation of learning the stunt pattern.
Just
Yeah,
remember how much fun you're having, Stuart.
yeah. More fun than shop. I think.
Yeah, that's it. If you're
Well,
any more fun, they put a tax on it, but
So, oh well.
what maneuver was you doing when this happened?
Shoot, what was I doing? I can't remember. It was up high and it just turned on me, came right around and boom, right straight down. So it was totally unexpected. Like
hmm,
it quick, it just went down. So
wow.
I don't know if lenses sometimes the wing will get high and it'll just turn. So I don't know.
Wow, that's
It went a little slow too, so I think he said so. Might have been kind of part of a stall. I don't know.
Yeah.
It turned too quick. I just like didn't even have time to react.
wow. Huh.
So,
Well, that's too bad.
yeah. Well, it's not too bad. I've got half the ribs already glued back together, and I think I'll just be able to fuselage back and I don't know. I don't think it'll be too bad. I'll get it flying again. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
But oh well. Flew a tutor too, so it went pretty good.
Oh, how was the tutor?
It was good. I flew good today and I did the pattern, so I'm starting to
Oh, that's great. I
um,
have a tutor as well. I had to take it out of my garage to make room for my Cardinal, but I was like, I gotta fix this tutor. As I remember, it was a pretty good flying plane. I flew it, I don't know how long ago, but I flew it in competition, and it flew pretty good in intermediate.
I got them from Brad, but I think I put 5 ounces of epoxy in it already.
Yeah, epoxy is heavy, but
That's
it's
the-
strong.
Yeah, I cracked it up about 3 or 4 times already, but it's still hanging together. So But it's good because I'm learning the pattern on these, so it's been not bad. So I'm starting to get on to it now. So it's coming pretty good, I think, with the pattern and stuff. So
Yeah, that's what it's all about. And the pattern exposes any deficiencies in the plane. If you
yeah,
find you have to white knuckle something, then it's like there's something wrong. It shouldn't be that difficult.
yeah, it's like the guys have been saying, you get into a nicer plane, so much easier in some ways. And I don't want to do that yet because I still haven't got the hand control down on, on all the maneuvers yet. So, but I'm pretty close to it. So I don't want to get into anything better until more consistent on doing the pattern.
Mhm.
But it's
Yeah. Yeah, whatever you feel comfortable. That's what I'm always telling Joe and Carl. That's what I do. I do what I feel comfortable doing. I really don't do anything uncomfortable.
yeah, like I'll do the maneuvers and that, and it's I'm just I don't know. I guess when you're learning, it seems so busy, and you're trying to remember what's next and how to go in and out of the maneuver, and so, but yeah, we're getting there.
Good. Yeah, I just keep making progress. Stunt is hard. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. It's there's so much to it. I mean, in addition to what I was telling you, Dennis, I actually just shaved about an 1/8 inch off my prop. I have a Zor 12.5 prop.
Mhm.
And when I would lift the nose on the Cardinal, the motor did not speed up enough for me. So I assume there's just too much of a load on it. And I'm anxious to see if that works. And if it does work, I might even take off a little bit more.
Mhm.
And maybe go down. Right now I'm at 11 7/8 for a prop diameter. So I might go to 11 3/4. This is an LA 46. It's not like
Mhm.
it's an 81,
Yep. That's it.
Let me welcome Caffeine. Hey, Caffeine, how you doing?
Hi. I'm doing good. We didn't do any flying on last weekend. I did fly on Thursday, though. Yeah, on last session, I was sharing you guys about the idea of detuning my engine, and then I have decided that I will try to put the tube muffler, the stock tube muffler first, because I think with the tube muffler it will give me to the best running range, I guess, because when you get the engine, you also get the muffler. Why don't you use it first and then see if it works well or not? Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's uh I think what you get from the box, it will, if you set it right, you don't modify anything, you will get at least the basic good run. So that's what I'm going to try first, because right now I just use the tongue muffler. It's not from the Enya. It's not official from the Enya. So it's more like a trial and error approach with the tongue muffler. But I'm hoping with the tube muffler, it will run better. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, try it.
Mhm. Yeah.
I would think
Yeah.
that I think the prop is more what you need from what you've told me. The motor
Mm-hmm.
the motor seems to not have enough load on it from what I can decipher, which I'm noticed over the
Okay.
phone, but
Mm-hmm.
the muffler, I mean,
Yeah.
I use mufflers as a trim. I use the
Yeah.
heavier muffler if I need nose weight. I use a tongue muffler
Mm-hmm.
if I need less nose weight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then some people will open up the muffler ID, the exit, the hole of the muffler.
Yep.
Some people will
Uh-huh.
open that up to get more
Mm-hmm.
performance. So
Yep.
mufflers do have a function.
Yep. So let's try with the stock muffler
Yeah.
first. So
You gotta do find out. Nothing wrong with finding
yep.
out. I've done a lot of experimentation to
Yes.
figure out what
Yes.
works for me, because I have people to give
Yep.
me advice too, but I want to know that I know that I know that I know because I
Yeah.
have practical experience.
Yep. That's right.
Let me catch up on the chat box, and I'll catch up with Carl and then Mark Wise. Let's see here. Jack Snavely says, "Hi guys," and he's also a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Jack. Appreciate your support. He says, "Hi guys, like in, thank you very much, and listening. Thank you, Jack." And then Mark Lumen, who's also, everybody that's coming in is a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Mark Lumen's another member of our YouTube channel. He says 10-year-old Bryce soloed last week. Big smile. Flew today with Jim Lee. Oh man, I wish I was flying with Jim Lee. And Dave Tribble. Good day flying until the earthquake. Earthquake. Wow. He didn't say earthquake twice. That was me.
Oh,
That caused the earth to rise up on the outside bottom corner of the square.
That kind of
My rudder.
earthquake. Yeah, that kind of
Now
earthquake.
that is very neat. I've never used the earthquake excuse. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that, Mark.
I do remember hearing somebody say the ground came up and hit my airplane. So
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
And he goes on to say, still waiting on surgery date, both flying, but flying when I can. Got your like. Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate that. And Carl, how you doing, Carl?
Carl?
Yeah, he's unmuting himself.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just enjoying this beautiful weather here in Southern California.
It's too windy to fly, though. I went out there to try to fly today. It was
Oh,
too
did you? It was windy real early morning here, and south of where you're at, and but just waiting for Wednesday and Friday to come around.
Yeah.
Went and bought some more fuel today. I bought some 15% Omega fuel and $30, but
$30?
yeah, for a gallon for 15% Omega fuel.
Really? At the discount hobby store?
Yeah,
$30? That's the first
Yeah.
time it's ever been that expensive.
yeah, no. But
Oh, dang it. Well, I've been bragging all this time. We've been able to buy that for like $20. I know I buy the
that's probably the 10%.
Well, I mean, it's only a buck or two different between 10 and 15%. It's not a big significant difference.
Yeah,
I mean, like the 5% is, $17 or $15, and then you goes up.
Well, last time I bought 15% was probably a year ago. Was like $25, and then for 10% it was like maybe 22 something and some change maybe. But that's what it cost me today. So
Okay. Well, at least I know I'm a little bit low, but I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed to hear that.
yeah. But the good news is I don't have to do that every week, every month. I can only have to do that about once every 3 to 4 months. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So let me say hi to Mark Wise. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing well. What you been up to besides Pampa and CD contests? You been doing any other? Did you get a chance to do any flying? Get a chance to do any building?
No, I'm starting to pack for Brodak,
All right.
and I got a call today that unfortunately the mowers that they use are all disabled. So they asked me if I'd bring a scissor, and so I'm leaving in the morning, and it'll be interesting. But actually, one year there was a little disconnect between John and one of his people, and I got there and there was no one mowing. So just like a triple tree, I got on the little tractor and mowed the place. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm getting there Saturday. Will's getting there Saturday, and it should be a great week. The forecast looks good, and I'm looking for make a lot of money this time. You give me money, I give you points. It's a simple system, and it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's a great crowd.
Yeah.
Denny, you're going to be there, aren't you?
Yeah. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but yes, I expect to be there. So
Well,
Hey,
maybe I'll
Mark.
get there. Maybe I'll get there Sunday then, not Saturday.
yeah.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
you're not confused with NFL and NBA asking for money for points, are you?
Oh,
No, I would never do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, we have some several years ago, there was an incident where one of the pilots swore that he made all his maneuvers and the judges said, no, you missed something. And it ended up that he agreed with me, the pilot, that he probably did miss it. But the judges were so nice there that after the round was over, they came to me and they said, look, we have a problem. I said, what's your problem? We feel bad. I said, well, what's your solution? Well, let him fly again. I said, no way.
Right.
We can't do that. So, you know, Denny just walked away angry and that's all we could do. But, you know, I'm pretty convinced that if the Brodak event one year said no airplanes, I think they'd still have a good turnout.
yeah, that's
You know,
probably right.
yeah, it's just a lot of people who enjoy each other's company and the flying it's not incidental, but it's not the Nats. You know, it's a little more laid back than that. So looking forward to it, and then the Nats not long after that. So it's good to be with you guys, and I'm bringing my P-47 to Brodak, so I hope to get
Good.
some serious
great.
time on that.
I wish I was going to Brodax. I wish I had the best time when I was there. The
I
absolute
remember.
best time.
I remember.
Best time. That was well worth all the money I spent to get there.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
got to get there again. I was talking to Joe Mata about us getting to Brodax maybe next year. And I said, we got to do something. Maybe we'll tow a trailer of some sort so we can haul our equipment and planes and stuff to get to Brodax next year.
Yeah, I hope you can make it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll have a good time, and you know, I saw that if I remember the dates right, I think that we took it over when I think Alan died in 2014. And so that was the year that Will and I took it over, and it was supposed to be 3 years because that was probably the 18th year, and John wanted it to go 20 years. So now it's 2023, and we lost John, but thank goodness that Buzz is still there. So you know, let's keep it going.
Absolutely. I hope
One at a time, just one year at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me welcome Jim Hoffman. Thank you, Jim, for coming in. How you doing?
Good. Are you well?
Jim Hoffman's month, huh? Yeah, it's Jim Hoffman's month. Let me get
Yeah, take a look right over his shoulder there. It looks familiar.
Let me make you
doesn't
big
it?
here. Hang on a second. Make you big here. Now find a bigger picture.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Whatever.
Oh, there we
Look
go.
at that. Yeah.
Beautiful
look at
Yeah,
that.
predator.
but yeah, don't look at that. Look at what's hanging right over Jim's head right now. It looks like I think it's the
Yeah.
same.
Yes,
bird.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
It is the
predator.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Charles,
plane.
you saw that airplane.
I did, and I took some pictures of it. I love how you your
There we
battery hold down was pretty impressive,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure there's some other
Really?
impressive. I thought so because I'm interested in holding my battery down for my SV11. You know, something which allows it to be to stay cool. You know.
Mhm. Well, I get ridiculed for my battery hold down because it takes 6 screws to get that in and out.
Right.
And, I know people who do it with one latch and that's about it. Maybe 2 latches. So mine is very belt and suspenders and very robust, but it is
Belt
not
suspenders and
fast.
duct tape. Come on, 6
Yeah.
screws? Are you kidding?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
2
wow.
screws for the hatch and 4 for the battery.
It's a take apart.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I have 6 screws holding the whole airplane together, but
Yeah. But
I
it's
have none on the
never
battery. So
never failed. Never failed.
yeah.
Yeah, I got to find a better way. I think that hatch could be held magnetically too.
Mhm.
It's very, very light.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I just settled on the inboard side thing, and the box is completely secure and the battery's secure in the box, and just leave the magnets hold the door over the outside. That's the only job they got to do. So
yeah. I have 2 profiles with magnetic cowls
yeah,
and covers, if you will, but
yeah,
on a bottom loader,
yeah,
take a bigger leap of faith. But I think we could do
mhm,
it. I think we could
yeah.
do it.
Let me share this picture real quick. This is of another look of your airplane, Jim. I want everybody to check out this cowl air inlets, really sharp.
Hmm.
People see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the nostrils.
Yeah, that's a good
Oh,
way to say
those,
it.
well, those were stolen right off of Paul Walker's airplane.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But they were fun to carve.
I bet you did a really good job though. Looks good. And it presents well in the air also, and in the lace paint scheme. I thought that was really something. The first time I saw that.
Yeah, that's it. That's
A
the
throwback to the
that's
past.
the Betty Page treatment or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
Very, very nice.
Years ago, I mean, in the 80s, Bob Whiteley showed me how to do that. And he had done it once or twice, and I've done it, I don't know, many times. And about 10 years ago, his wife walked up to me and she said, I love that airplane. I love that lace.
Mhm.
And I said, you know who taught me to do that?
Yeah, it's really nice, really sharp.
No.
You did the lace on your impact too, right? The impact had lace on it too.
Yeah, the IC impact. That's the one sitting above the. It's got the checkerboard on the
Let me make you
wing.
big here.
Okay, that's two levels up there above Snoopy.
Above Snoopy, yeah. I'm not climbing up there to flip it over, but that's got
Okay,
lace on the top also.
terrific.
Yeah. I shouldn't have that on top. That's got a pipe that's dripping on everybody else.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But I haven't I flew that airplane's been dormant for quite a number of years.
Hmm.
And I went and flew it maybe a year ago. And I mean, that was my frontline competition plane for a long time. And I was shocked at how difficult it felt to fly after I'd gotten used to other airplanes.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't quite say, how did I ever fly this thing? But I almost said that. Really surprised me. It was that much different than
Did you make any effort then to like retrim it and modernize it or anything like that? Did you trim it up to what you're used to now?
no.
Okay.
It was not going to be ever a frontline airplane for me.
Mhm.
So I just no. I
Yeah, I
probably
found
put
myself doing that kind of thing though too. Is got an airplane and yeah, that flies pretty good. Put it away, come back and get it a couple of years later, and it's like, holy mackerel! We got some work to do here. And
yeah.
I've done that quite a bit where I try, gee, and now I learned something here. I'm going to try this, try that, and yeah, it gets it a little better and stuff. And so yeah, it's fun. I never used to spend that much time trimming airplanes as I have been, lately. So,
Mhm.
so
No, I agree. It's I do rotate airplanes. I flew that pink one a
mhm,
month ago, and it's not as good as the big one, but
mhm,
it's a pretty good little airplane, and that was fun to fly.
mhm,
And it made me think. Every airplane I've had for quite a while, you end up trimming out all the flap, take it all out, and it made me think. This orange one in front on top of me, that's got removable flaps.
mhm.
There's really nothing stopping me from just taking those flaps off and take a spin. I'm wondering, has anyone ever done that with a modern airplane?
Wow.
I don't know. You lose so much
Well,
wing area, it's hard to say, you know, if you could keep the wing area somehow, or you'll put a stationary flap on or something like that. I feel a
Yeah.
lot better about it, but,
That's a good point.
yeah, that's, you know, what, probably on the order of 20% of your wing area there, so.
Yeah, it's a good bit. Good bit.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
true. I hadn't really thought of it in those terms.
Hey, Jim, in Paul's articles that he wrote in Stunt News years ago on trimming,
Mhm.
there's a section in there where he talks about he had a warp in the airplane somewhere but couldn't find it, so he took the flaps off and flew it. And he said, if you want to see the difference in turning, take your flaps off, fly it that way, and then put them back on. But I don't think he had a great problem flying the airplane without the flaps. It just wouldn't turn as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't perform, but I could see, you know, context, Mark, what you're saying. I could see that would be a heck of a way of, you know, you had a warp and you don't know where it's at.
Yep,
That would be, you know, just a diagnostic flight. What's it doing, you know?
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would think if you took the flaps off, you'd get a fabulous corner, but it might stall at the bottom because
Mhm,
of the reduced wing area.
mhm.
Because flaps, I mean, they create a moment opposite the turn. And one of my
Yeah, but
favorite
they create
planes,
a lot of lift. You know, they take
yeah.
the
So you,
symmetrical wing and make it non-symmetrical so it can do its job. And a
yes,
little bit of flap will cause a positive pitch up. You ever flown a sailplane, RC sailplane? If
not
you,
in decades.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, you might, I don't know if they fly them anywhere near you, but go hang out with the sailplane folks. And if you know, do you take a modern airplane, you know, sailplane with full span flaps and stuff, deflect the flap even like a 1/16 of an inch, it balloons nose up. All right.
Hmm.
It does not pitch until I don't think the pitching really comes into play until you're like at 45 or more degrees, like, you know, the high lift transport airplanes that, you know, they really kick the flaps down. And I think that makes, you know, be well beyond what we're doing. So,
Mhm.
but you're right, the flaps are not maneuvering surfaces. They're lift enhancement surfaces. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I spent a summer flying a Mike Pratt P-Force.
uh-huh,
Everyone argues about what motor to put on. I put an Aero Tiger on it,
sure,
but that had no flaps,
right.
and that was fun to fly. And I think I flew that for a summer, and it helped me to get better at flying through the corner instead
hmm
of just, blip and watch the
hmm
airplane turn. You really were flying it through the corner. And then when I transitioned back to a big airplane, I think I was a better pilot for the experience.
That's an interesting take. And yeah. The neat thing about the P Force is, you know, it's not like flying a ringmaster or something like that. The ringmaster, you know, the wing is limited. But you just a P Force or something like that, that's just really gonna grab. It's gonna fly well. You probably had the same experience with some of your old time airplanes though too. Do you ever fly modern patterns with your old time airplanes?
No, but I have a good story.
All right.
At VSC decades ago, Ted Fancher came out, or we talked. He said, I don't have a plane to fly. And I said, I'm just going to loan you an airplane. So I loaned him my Upstart, pretty good airplane. I was
Mhm.
flying something else. And I just gave him the lines handle, some fuel, and have fun, Ted. So the end of the week, he brings it back to me. He waxed it too. The airplane had never been waxed.
Wow.
And he says, that does great outside squares.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, it's never done an outside square. So he must have done a modern pattern or part of it with it.
Yeah, well, the thing I find, I'm so used to flying, you know, modern airplanes, modern patterns. And when I started flying old time, I started flying them through patterns or through modern patterns. What I find is that it's a great way of seeing what the airplane's capable of. But when I'm into trimming things and stuff like that, when you make the airplane work that hard, it exposes things that, the old time pattern doesn't necessarily expose the airplane to. All right. So I went through that with my barn. I've got a barnstormer I've been messing with it. It really it's light and it flies well and stuff. And I just went ahead and I did a modern pattern. I had no intention of using it in classic or anything, so I'd only been flying it in old time. And then I thought, oh, what the heck? I did a modern pattern with it. It was a holy mackerel. We got to make some changes here, and it, of course, if the airplane's trimmed out, whatever you ask it to do, it does better. But I just find it was like a trimming aid, almost just
Yeah, that's
because it exposes the weaknesses. So
that's a clever idea. That's a clever
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, I mean, the first maneuver, the climb and dive, is probably one of the most difficult on the airframe, right?
Yeah.
So I am going to do something modern to one of my old timers. I made up a set of
Woohoo!
spectral lines for
Right.
Galloping Comedian.
Party like it's 1950, man. So
Yeah, I know. It really, I find the little ones really benefit from it. So I'm going to give that a try. The one thing I also would like to do under the cloak of darkness is to put some vortex generators on one of those old timers.
Oh, wow.
I wouldn't do that in public, but it would be an interesting experiment to see how it handled it.
I think it
Because
would.
they have, the ones I fly have thin airfoils. They're limited because of that.
Yeah, I tried them on and off on my big airplane, and I said, "Oh, gee, yeah, I think I can tell a difference." And I took them back off, and I couldn't really tell it. And I put them back on in a different way, and maybe there's something. I get tired of knocking them off, putting it in and out of the car, so I took them off again. I just decided that, you know what, I'm happy there's people having success with it, but I got bigger fish to fry here. I try something else. So
yeah, I noticed the difference on mine.
yeah, there's a lot of people, say it's night and day. So
yeah, the T strips on the tail, I've had mixed experiences with those. Some airplanes really benefit, and others nothing. I can't explain that.
Yeah, it is wild.
Yeah, but Paul
Yeah, I
Walker
haven't messed with
suggested
it.
a good experiment though with any of these things. Like vortex generators. Take them off of one wing.
Yeah.
And give it a go. See what it does. I haven't had the courage to try that, but that would be an interesting experiment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, there's Wesley Dick's airplanes with the multiple, the double
the
slotted
Venetian
flaps.
blinds.
Yeah. Well, our buddy Larry Fruits built a Velvet, and he built it so he could interchange a normal flap and a Venetian blind flap. All right. And he took the airplane out and got it all trimmed out with just the normal simple flaps. I was really happy with the way the airplane flew. And then he says, all right, it's time. And he went and he put the double slotted flap on it. And he likes it even better now. He says he's not sure what's going on. He says he doesn't think it corners any better, but it just seems to exit the corner better. Doesn't seem to lose any speed or anything like that, which is supposed to be the payoff. It's supposed to be a lower drag flap than a simple flap. But the way he did the system, he literally could put one flap on one side of the airplane and the other on the other side of the airplane.
Wow.
I offered to fly it if he did it on his airplane. So I offered to fly it for him. So he hasn't bought into that quite yet, but
that's a great experiment. Experiment.
That would be side by side.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a place where I think the electric planes perform better. You do a hard corner, and you really have induced a huge amount of drag, and you need huge amount of power right now to accelerate out of that corner. And I find the electric airplanes do that better than the glow airplanes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been an awful lot of championships A lot of nice patterns flown with low airplanes. I ain't gonna give up on, totally discount them or anything like that, but, every electric airplane I have feels more powerful than every glow airplane I ever had. So,
Mhm.
but I never flew 60s and 75s or anything like that either. So,
Well, I didn't.
whatever.
I flew Super Tiger 60s and I flew PA 51s
Mhm.
for a long time.
Yeah.
I did get a chance to fly a PA 75. I flew Dave Fitzgerald's airplane.
Hmm.
That was a very nice airplane to fly. It felt a lot like mine, except it was friendlier.
Mhm.
Instantly, the corners were there,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I can't explain why. But that had the PA 75.
Mhm. Yep.
Let me
He's a
interrupt.
courageous guy.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
He's a courageous guy. He let me fly it, let Lou fly it too.
Mhm.
Wow.
And I've heard he's done that to quite a few other people. We didn't ask. He just offered.
Yeah, I'd love to fly his plane, see what it flies like. I would love to have a chance like that. I was going to welcome John Miller. Hey, John, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. I missed you Friday, I think.
Yeah, I got set down in front of the TV and forgot what time it was, what day it was. And when I got up to put the dog out, I said, wait a minute, this is Friday night. And by then it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, so I knew you guys weren't around.
Yeah.
So anyway, talked to Gordon today on the phone.
All right. How's Gordon?
Yeah. Gordon's okay. He's rebuilding his Pathfinder. He loaned it out.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
got crashed at the regionals, and so he's on his way to. He's got the fuselage fixed. Nothing wrong with the stab elevator or the rudder. So it's mainly the wing that he's got to rebuild. So that's what he's doing. So he's moving right along with it.
Yeah. We were, Howard's here too. I don't know. I don't know if he's there or
Howard's
not.
like a jack in the box.
Yeah.
Pops
know.
in and pops out.
Pops in
I
and
think-
pops out.
Yeah. We just got to turn his crank a little. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were the quickie on trimming. Was out again this morning flying the Mobest. And I flew the thing last year, flew it all year. I thought it was a wonderful airplane. I enjoyed it, scored well with it and everything like that, all the right things. And then this year, I just on a hunch, I wanted to make sure I had a hunch that maybe I had undersized lines on it, Spectre lines. I had 50-pound line. I put it on 65, and it did seem to be marginally better. All right. I mean, it was the kind of thing that if I hadn't done it back to back, I'm not sure I would have noticed anything. All right. But I decided I liked it better. And then I decided it's had too much tip weight in it. All right. I went to a slightly heavier line, but it had too much tip weight in it. And it was really showing up in the bottoms, the corners, and you get the clump and everything like that out of the wingtip and stuff, which, I mean, mind you, I flew this thing for a season. I never had that kind of experience. So I started pulling tip weight out of it. And so far I've removed 17 grams out of 25 that I started with, which makes me wonder what in the truck was I doing, carrying that much tip weight. And I've got it down to like 8 grams, the tip weighs 8 grams. And it still acts like it's hinging just ever so little both ways. And, it's not dropping the tip like it was. Well, it does still just a little bit on the bottoms of squares, but on round loops, I can see, the bottom of the airplane on an inside half, and I make the transition, on an 8, make a transition into the outside, and you can visibly see the airplane move the other way. I can see it. Wes was watching me today. He told me he couldn't see a thing. All right. Like that. but I can see the airplane is changing position. So I keep taking weight out, and I keep walking it down, and it's like nothing's changing. So I'm at the point where I got to believe that moving more tip weight probably isn't the answer. It's like, there's not enough there, left to have much of an effect. So now the Modbus is designed. I think it's a really good design. I think Larry Cunningham. I never got to meet the man, but I think he definitely hit a home run with this thing. But it has a 1 inch longer inboard wing, but the outboard flap is 1.5 inches longer than the inboard flap. All
How
right.
did he do that?
Pardon me? How? Just
How did he
basically.
do that?
Well, on the left wing, the flap stops like 5 inches from the wingtip, partial span, and
He's
then
got
the
a-
other side, he just let it run out farther.
Yeah, it's not full span flaps. Okay.
Right. And
As soon as I asked
so
the question, I realized what.
yeah, it's not a the flaps don't run all the way to the tip. So he's got a longer wing, but a larger flap on the outboard side, which I think he was trying to prevent that from ever, from hinging and stuff like that, like you can get, especially on a profile with the engine blocking, part of the outer wing panel and stuff. Of course, my electric doesn't have that. Everything is, kind of smooth and sleek through the center. But I don't know. Anybody else had any issue like that where you had like that last little bit of hinging, you can't get rid of it?
Well,
Well, one thing
I always have that problem, but but makes me suspect you may want to make one flap or the other longer.
I look at do overhead eights and have someone watch the
Mhm.
intersection and watch it roll at the intersection is a pretty
Mhm.
good diagnostic. And
Yeah.
I'm one for starting to add tabs to the outboard tip to
Okay.
generate a little more wing area out there to hold that tip weight if you need it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's really, that's what it seems to be pointing me at. It's already got a larger flap, but maybe it needs to be a little bit larger yet. And mind you, it doesn't show up as a funny shape or a funny corner. Like say, I'm not sure the judges can even see it. I'm not sure anybody could see it, if they weren't in the pilot seat, but I can see it in the round 8, the round vertical 8. A little less obvious in the overhead, but there's so many things going on in the overhead. I have a hard time watching the wings flap and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's and even there, it doesn't even show up so much in a square 8, like through an intersection, because you do the turn and then the airplane is basically stable and you do the turn and whatever. But it's easy to see on the round 8 because it's like lifting that way through, so it results in a hinge. So, and it can't be very, very much. It's like if I'm watching the airplane and I can see it, but if I just watch the path of the airplane, I can't see it. So it's not like an All-American, let's put it that way. So
Have you checked the flap alignment?
well, the flap alignment, I think I think I twisted them a little bit to level the wings, and that would have been it. But so if they're not aligned, it would have been from that.
Okay.
The elevator alignment is good. That's the other thing, that
Yeah.
might have been a thing.
Yeah.
But it's a curious thing, and I'm making it sound like probably a bigger problem than it really is, because it really doesn't affect the maneuvers and anything like that.
Well, I've been to that point where eventually you say, so what? Because it's not affecting anything.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know I have promised our good buddy here, Phil Bailey, to fly it at Brodak, and maybe he'll have something to say about that. But
Danny, what motor do you have in there?
it's a Brodak 2826
4 cell?
4 cell.
Okay, thank you.
Well, let me welcome, I think it was Howard Rush. And then, how are you doing, Howard?
Doing all right.
So you got your dogs hanging up on the wall?
Oh yeah, dogs on the wall. This iPad's on a door, and I'm opening the door to go outside. That's why the
Oh,
scenery changes.
okay.
Howard, did you find happiness on your on the stunt program? You said you had something
Yeah.
something blow up on you, but
Oh, I just included some new stuff. The being able to remove a judge if a judge gets bit by an asp or something and drops dead during a round. You have to throw out his scores for the day and have the program tally it up. And it's kind of easy to remedy by hand, but doing so automatically, somehow it was a big deal.
so yeah, I've heard of contingency planning, but damn,
Yeah, I agree.
judge drops dead. No, push button C. Yeah.
Well, this has happened a couple times. It's happened a couple times in the last 3 years, I think.
It has.
It has happened. Okay.
One time, well, if a guy drops out and doesn't submit score sheets, it doesn't add them up, and so it won't give you a total. So I had to go in by hand and say divide by 2 instead of by 3, and these are the 2.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it's generalizing that somehow is difficult for me. But all's well, I think.
Okay.
But I'm hoping somebody will test it. Well, Joe Daly's offered to test it, so that's okay.
Hopefully not test it by dropping dead.
No, just to simulate simulated asp bite would suffice.
Good gracious. Y'all getting rough.
What is there a pee in that bite?
We're playing hardball tonight.
Yeah, the judges actually didn't drop dead. That caused the situation. One guy got hit by a car, I think, and another guy was sick or something.
Yeah. But
So this happens.
I don't know. Just speaking from personal experience, that program is what makes the Nats run. I mean, it's just a fabulous piece of work, and we're really lucky that Howard created the work and keeps tweaking and improving and massaging and whatever else.
Yeah, it works if you.
You wrote your note, and I thought,
pay
sure,
attention.
I'll help them. And then I thought, gee, I don't know, I'm not that good with spreadsheets in the first place. I could probably help break it or something like that. I could damage control it. Maybe I should. I'll send you an email. Maybe you can send me a copy, and I'll see if I can. Break it my way or something
please.
like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, let me welcome Mark Gerber. Hey, Mark, how you doing?
Good, Charles. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm Mark.
I'm Mark.
How's the big bear coming along? I mean, Bearcat, excuse me, not big bear, but Bearcat.
Good. I got something to show Mr. Bailey here.
All right. And I have a question for you, John Miller, from one of our members in the chat box.
Hey.
Wow, that's pretty.
That looks nice.
That is pretty.
Oh.
All right, Mark. Now that's
Yeah,
good.
look at that, the decals and
looks
everything.
good. I'm looking forward
Okay.
to seeing that at Brodak.
That's it. Make up 5 more. I'll see you in Carmichael's in a week. All right. So
There you go.
That looks good.
That is good.
And then
I like
here's
that.
here's Howard's Hungarian gear.
all right.
All right.
So I'm debating about whether I want to test this or not, but I think I may wait till I find a field with lots of short dead grass. Or I may
Well,
just go ahead
fall,
and
you'll
try
find
it.
that.
Yeah.
Well, midsummer, I mean.
So
Late
we'll
summer
see.
in Colorado, and you'll find it.
You got short live clover. Is that good enough?
And
That is really
this
short.
morning I got my P40 out again. I've been getting that ready to go to Brodak. So, but we had 2.5 inches of rain here in Colorado this weekend.
Wow.
So I didn't get any flying done until this morning. So,
And we're going out in the morning. I know what you mean.
anyway,
That is
that's
so pretty.
that's
that
my
is so
report for
pretty.
the last few days.
Very good. Very good. I have a question for John Miller from Marcel Legrand. He says, "Hi, John. Can you please tell me what props I should use on the OS 20, please?"
FPs or LAs?
Well,
I think he's at FP, John.
With the wait till he responds, I don't know. He just has 20S. I don't know.
If it's a 20S, it could be the old style 20S.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
old
it'd be the
style.
old
That's a
style
different critter
20S.
altogether. That's a different critter altogether.
Maybe it could be 20s. Is he talking about a twin?
Yeah.
Maybe it could be just 20s, just two of them.
Well, if it's the FP has a little bit more power than the LA, though they're both pretty close. On the 20, you could go with a 9.4. You go with a 9.5/4. You might even try to stretch it to a 10.4, but I think you'd be pushing it. So
I just got a response. They are FPs, John.
Yeah. Well, I'd say look at a 9.5, take a 10 and clip it down to a 9.5.
Try a 10 forward and then try a 10 forward and clip it down a little bit, because my Nobler started out with a LA 25, which is slightly less power than an FP, and it flew a 10.5, just 10.4, just fine. And we started clipping it down, and it got worse and worse. I went back to the 10.4.
Yeah.
You have a comment, Jim?
The APC 9.4 is a good combination, but
that is a
Phil's
good combination.
But Phil's approach is probably a better combination. Start with a 10 and start clipping it down.
Yep.
Very good. And we have a comment from George Bernard. He says George Bernard is also a member of our YouTube channel. Thank you for your support, George. He says, "Glad to see you all doing well." So thank you. We appreciate that. And we're glad we're doing well too. Thank you so much. And then I'm not sure if Bob Whitley came in before Phil, but Bob Whitley, how you doing, Bob?
Oh, hanging in. To disappoint everyone, I didn't come back with a whole bunch more airplanes because I didn't make it to the. No, I couldn't make it to it because unfortunately the weekend just kept getting worse, and we had Dad's memorial on Saturday, and then we had to put one of our cats down on Sunday.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
So that's the second one in a month. It's getting pretty depressing around here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but by all accounts, the pictures I saw, the guys had a great time down there at Panoka, and weather was beautiful in this part of the country. So it's good for them. But I guess just carry on. I'll be down in that area flying real airplanes tomorrow morning.
Are the fires out up in your area?
We've had a lot of rain, so they've backed off quite a bit. There's other parts of the country are burning down now, but we've got a reprieve for a while.
Good grief.
Well, Canada has a lot of green, and I hate to see it burn.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Lots of fuel. Yeah.
Well, what I really feel sorry for is how many, millions of poor little critters in there that just don't have a damn chance to get away and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
trees grow back easy, but critters don't.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marcel Legrand said they are for a twin, so it is for his twin, John.
Yeah, he's built a really nice looking Pathfinder twin, and it's red and blue. I think. Let me see if I can pick up. He sent me some pictures. Maybe I'll get him on here.
Yeah,
let me see what I can do.
I'd love to see him because the last time we saw pictures of him, he's a heck of a builder.
Yeah,
he's
quick.
fast.
Definitely
he's fast.
Quick, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
While he's doing that, John, so Phil, why don't you tell me what's been going on with you?
We went flying the other day. I'm trying Tommy got me to try to change propellers a little bit on the Ringmaster, and we got it flying a lot better. But unfortunately, the prop that I have has such a thick hub. I've got about 3 good threads on it.
Oh, really?
So I'm scared of it, but I'll get it. Ooh, that's pretty.
Oh,
I'll
wow.
get it out and cut the hub down, thin the hub down some. If that turns out to be the best prop, we'll thin the hub down before we go to Brodak with it. And I'll have to make 2 more. I don't like to go to a contest without 3 props. I still can't do overhead, so I'll be trying just to have fun. But
Bill, have you checked in with what's his name there in Florida with Shutterman? I bought for my super taggers some prop nuts and washers where it's an over length thread, and you just the nut actually protrudes through the washer, a shank.
Yeah, it goes in. Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you just bore out the prop a bit and use that, and it works really well if you can get one of them.
I'm trying to get. I've got some. The problem is I'm moving everything around in my basement, trying to. Oh, it's a long story, but anyway, the gist of it is don't offer to store stuff for somebody else while they move, because they tend to leave stuff and then it's all right in your way and you can't find your own stuff for tripping over your own feet.
Yeah, it's gotta be frustrating.
Well,
Hey,
I know I have the stuff, but where it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I've got 2 new electric airplanes, and I thought I was going to take them to Brodak, but my jetty box went bad. And now I'm wondering what happened, because I thought I knew what had happened. And they'll handle 5 volts just fine. But from what I'm reading of the specs, what little I can find out online, because they are very secretive about it, they won't take 6 volts. And I put 4 1.5 volt batteries in this little thing, little plastic stand you buy at the hobby shop, ran that to a 5 volt regulator and ran that into my jetty box. And I thought it's 5 volts. When I initially tested it, it was 5 volts. Well, somehow or another, something happened, and all of a sudden it's 6 volts. So I may have burnt the darn thing up. I may just burnt the darn thing up myself. I don't know what happened. But anyway, I have a new one ordered from Gator RC. Supposed to be here Friday. We'll see. If it is, I'll practice it Saturday and see if I can get it in some kind of shape to take it. But I'm renting the car to go up. My truck's still in the shop. And a guy called me tonight, said one of the parts won't be here till Thursday. So there's no way it'll be ready Friday. So, if you damage your truck, your vehicle, if you want to put it in for insurance work, you can get it fixed. But if you've got an old car and you're trying to restore it, good luck finding somebody. Go ahead, Danny.
I don't have anything to add directly to that, but I wanted to take advantage of Mark and Jim are here, and sometimes they don't stay long. But Mark Wise, question came up for Brodak next week. Is there any are we going to be using our new Pampa guide for old time stunt?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. I want to see, can we get a copy of that thing when we get there?
Absolutely. I'll make sure I
deal.
will, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and post it on Stunthangar in the old time. And I will also post it in the link for this meeting. Charles puts out in the main forum, he puts out, are you aware of our chat? That message.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that there's a copy there too. And I don't know what Brodak has left. I don't know if they're capable of printing anything, but I'm going to see if they could print up some paper copies that we could pass around down
That'd
there
be
too.
nice.
That'd be
Yeah.
nice if we could.
How many sheets of paper you think could go on?
It's about, the main document is, I think, 24 pages.
24 pages. Ooh.
I think that was it. And it was,
Well, that's just 6 pieces of paper if you cut it down half size front and back.
yeah, well, I don't know. I would
Might
probably
get a little hard to
depending
read
on
at half size.
Yeah, it's hard.
It probably would.
It's a little,
Okay.
yeah. But the, remember, part of it is side by side on the page already, so it's already.
Yeah, that's
shown a
right.
little bit.
Okay, never mind.
So, but
I
I
was
think
gonna
you
try to
certainly
volunteer,
can
but
do
I
a
don't
back to
think I
back
can.
print. I have a hard time doing it on my home printer, but a back to print would save a lot of paper. And if Brodak
Yeah.
can do it, if I have no idea what capability they closed down the print operations, but I don't know if they've cleaned house and everything else, because they still got to print up their own instruction manuals and stuff like that. So I'm sure they have.
They closed the
capability
printing
of doing
department?
that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
Oh, back in those sad days here a few years ago, they
That's a shame.
basically all their business dried up and they had nothing to keep the printing business busy. So they ended up closing it
Oh,
down.
that's a shame.
So
The shame of it is that's a quiet, small little community anyway. There's not that many jobs, and when some of them dry up, that means somebody loses theirs.
that's exactly
That's a
right.
shame.
You're exactly right. So I don't
Speaking
know.
of
I do
printing,
have one other little problem. Talking to Wes today, and he goes, "Hey, Dennis, did you make the hotel reservation?" I said, "Hey, Wes, I thought you said you were making a hotel reservation." So here we are doing the Fort Wayne salute, right? I thought you did it. Whatever. Yeah. So I have to get that sorted out here tomorrow. So
Bob Whitley, go ahead.
yeah, for Mark, while we're on the subject of printing, who is handling the Win Paul books at the Nats?
That's going to be
Win Paul.
I think Win is bringing his publisher
Yeah.
To speak at the dinner. So
Okay.
he's bringing I don't know how many he's bringing to sell, but whatever he brings, I think he's going to sell.
Okay, why I'm asking is I was talking with Chris Cox, who's going to the Nats, and I can't, and he's agreed to pick up a set copies for me. But
Okay.
I'm wondering who I should send the money to, or should I wire it to Chris and have him bring it, and or what's the best course there?
Well, it's totally separate from Pampa. This is Win's deal.
Right. Okay.
So I really can't answer that.
I had just a little exchange with Win on that, and my impression is that he's expecting basically people to show up with dollars in their hands.
Yeah.
I would expect if you want Chris to pick it up, that's great. Ask him to pick it up, but ask him to be ready with the money in his hand. All right.
Yeah, I'll make sure he's got the money then.
Yeah.
And
I don't
understand that was
I
200.
was asking him about reserving copies and stuff like that. And he was like, nowhere, no way on any of that kind of stuff. Show up with your money and pick up the books. Apparently the publisher has a capability, if they sell out, they even have a backup plan to try to get some more copies in later in the week and stuff like that too. But I don't know. There's a lot of interest in it. There's been a lot of pent up demand on this thing. So I'm hoping they can sell every single copy they got made.
Well, I've had my name on the list for years since it was first talked about, but I think it was 200, wasn't it, for it, and then some sort of a discount at the site or whatever, but that's irrelevant.
Well, there's a discount and there's no shipping for it's a 1,000-page total or something like that.
Wow,
that's why
1,000 pages.
Yeah. So
that's why I was wanting Chris to bring it up, because the shipping would just kill me for shipping it up to here.
Exactly. And shipping over the border on top of it. It's just, not a half. And I don't think you'll be able to get the Amazon Kindle version for a while either. So.
Okay, so on that note, then I'll send it down with Chris. I don't know if he's gone to the banquet or not. I have no idea, but
apparently there are going to be other places than just the banquet too. There are going to be people in town. So
okay.
And if he's not at the banquet, tell him shame on him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll be talking to him.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot. I just wanted to sort of clear that up a bit.
Yeah, I got an email from Win. He said about a week ago, because I've been bugging him because no one from here is going.
Right.
He says they're going to have 100 sets with them at the Nats, and they could potentially, I guess the publisher's brother lives in Louisville, just 2.5 hours away, and they're willing to make the trek and bring more up. That was from an email a week ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got the same thing as you. Yeah, the same message basically. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish.
I'm sure looking forward to getting that.
Yeah, there's probably 4 or 5 of us here in Arizona that would want it. and none of us are going. It
Yeah,
sounds like they're willing to ship them, later, but not now. And shipping will be pricey.
Yeah, you might almost do better to have them shipped to have half a dozen copies or whatever shipped to us, in one bundle. And then you guys distribute them amongst yourself or something like that.
Yeah.
But,
I looked into the book rate through the U.S. Post Office, and once you hit some threshold of weight, it's 10% less per pound. So,
yeah.
I mean, 10% the price, 90% less.
Mhm.
So that's the U.S. Post Office book rate if they use it.
Yeah, because I couldn't see it being less than 80 or $100 to ship here.
Yeah.
Oh, I got 1,000 pages. Guys, that's going to weigh 7-8 pounds.
Yeah.
By the time you get a bind, I'm sure it's hard bound. So
Yeah.
you're looking at the
They were
heavy
saying it
load.
was like 10 pounds
shipped.
a set or something like that.
I think maybe I'll buy
just-
a bunch of sets for $200 now and bring them out west and sell them for 300 or 400 and see.
There you go. I just shipped some
Somebody's
stuff to
going to the
California.
Nats for free.
Yeah. I just shipped some stuff to California that weighed 27 pounds. And the shipping was almost as much as I was asking for the stuff.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, well, I just had a box of miscellaneous parts and those weights and stuff shipped up last month, and my cost on the parts was 47 and the shipping was 39.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And that was packed into a K&B engine box.
Oh,
good grief. Holy cow.
Wow.
Well, I just got this in the mail today and the shipping was $6. It's 2 climb and dive timers. I mean, they weigh nothing. So, I mean, it's, shipping has gone insane.
Hey, Danny, I understand that Wynn printed the book on silk span, just in case we run out.
I'll tell you.
That's really good.
Did he use
Not bad,
butyrate or
1,000
nitrate
sheets of
for
silk
the ink?
span for $200. That's
There you go.
There you go.
Mark,
That's a
did he
good
use
idea.
butyrate or nitrate for the ink?
Yeah. That's it.
I just sent some vortex generators to James Mills for $10 priority mail. So that per gram, that's quite a bit. But the post office has a new priority mail rate. I haven't checked it out yet.
Howard, you are going to the Nats this year, right?
I think so, yeah.
Good deal. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I got to give you something.
I hope so.
Yeah. Other than the usual, I usually just give him crap, but this time I'm going to give him something worth having.
Thank you.
All right.
I guess I'll go there.
Yeah, you need to go.
I have a comment from Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Yo. Thank you, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. That's it.
Oh, Lordy.
Let me see here.
Charles making me hungry. Doggone it.
Yeah, some good popcorn.
It has nothing to do with anything. It's graduation party season, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And yesterday I went to my great nephew, I guess he is, AJ Lee, Todd Lee's son, went to this graduation party at Todd's house. And I saw the most beautiful airplane basement I have ever seen.
You take pictures of it?
2,000 square feet with an 11-foot ceiling and a basement, right?
Cool.
And a bunch of really beautiful airplanes there and some more under construction and stuff like that. Of course,
Wow.
Todd
Sounds like, yeah. That's what I would expect from Todd. It's got to be top shelf. It's Todd.
Wonderful thing, gathering for really neat. AJ's a really neat kid. And so
Yeah.
anyhow, I just got a kick out of it. It's the first time I'd ever been to Todd's house and made some comments. He wants to see if he can have they host a contest in Cleveland in September, and he wants to try to get back he wants basically to have a party on it at his place Friday night or Saturday night if they can do that over the weekend. And just kind of building the whole camaraderie things like happens at a lot of big contests around the country and stuff. He wants that to be part of that too, and I'm really excited. I said, even if I told him if he can't get off work, says I'll still show up at his house and have a party anyway. But anyhow,
that basement sounds big enough to have guys could fly half A's in it.
You could definitely be flying quadcopter. He could build what he ought to be doing. I need to ask him this. I want to ask him if he's got any plans for building a home built, because he's got a walkout, like French door walkout, right past the hot tub and all that kind of, but he could build big pieces of real airplane, of home built airplane in his basement, carry it out the walkout and assemble them at the airport like they do. So, and I bet he could, he's certainly skilled enough to build a home built. So
he built some beautiful stuff.
Uh-huh.
Well, since it's kind of slow, let me share something with you guys. I'll explain each picture one by one. So let me see here. So this is my Cardinal, and I had to open up the area to replace the push rod, and so now I have this big hole, right? Now, I can't see what you're looking at the moment, but I know what I shared. So I had that space, and not all the sides were straight lines, so it's kind of a unique shape. And Terry Forbes, who used to come in here very frequently years ago when Rusty was the host, he shared with me a technique he uses, and so I'm going to kind of step through that real quick. Let me stop sharing that. So that's what I started with. And then, so Terry told me to grab something like this. Let me share this with you. This is kind of clumsy. I meant to put it in a presentation, but I didn't find it. So this is a piece of the lid to some sort of something you pick up at a store. That really thin acrylic, not acrylic, but it's plastic or something. So I took that, and then I put that. Let me stop sharing this. And then so I took that, and where's the image of that? Okay, so here's the next image. Let me share this. So can you mute someone's TV or radio in the background? Thank you. So let me share this. So now I trim that plastic, whatever it is, and I put it over that center section of the wing, and I was able to trace that with a Sharpie, a fine Sharpie, right? Okay, and I apologize for this being so clumsy. I have no other way of doing this. So here's the piece that I trimmed out. Let me share this. And again, I can't see what I'm sharing, but so that's what I trimmed out. You see that? And that fits perfect over that hole. With some trial and error, sanding and maybe trimming, I get to fit perfect. But now I have the perfect template, and then I just cut the piece of wood out. And let me see here. So this image is the one showing that it's fitting snug. Let me pull that up. So here's it is in place, and it fits perfect, right? You guys got that?
Yeah.
Okay, and so then we stop sharing that. And so now I was able to, so where's my piece of wood? So I'll kind of take some of the, oh, here we go. So share this one. This is a little bit blurry for some reason, but so here it is in place. You guys see that?
Not yet. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, that's great.
Perfect fit, right? I mean, this is on top of my plane, so I really wanted it to. I didn't want it to be something that attracts a lot of attention, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to look nice, and unfortunately, the yellow monocoder film is kind of translucent, so it doesn't really hide it. But
Yeah.
I wish it was more opaque so you couldn't see it at all. But make a long story short, when it's all said and done, this is what it looks like. Let me share this image, and let me see here. So, voila.
Oh, nice.
Not
That's
bad.
nice.
So that could be used for other repairs or I don't know, you know, maybe everyone knows this. I didn't know about that. Terry Forbes showed me this technique and I was like, oh man, that there's so many jobs in what that you want to do sometimes, and you wish that you could see the dimensions, you know, so you could draw it perfectly, and that's what I came up with. Actually, Terry Forbes did that for me, so that was pretty neat, you know.
That is neat. I've done similar with tracing paper, but the plastic's a way better idea because it's stiff. It doesn't want to pull away on you or tear.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jim.
That's an excellent job, Charles. And more than the aesthetics, that's a structural member. So you need a good fit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There's a material that someone turned me on to years ago. It's a film. It feels a lot like a vellum for an old draftsman.
Right.
I bought a roll of it, and I used up a lot of it making masking templates for the Lunar. But you can do that. The rigid piece you use is perfect for the application you did.
Right.
But this stuff is big, so you could do big stuff.
Oh, okay. Is that the stuff that Thomas Tom Moore sells?
Dynamic balsa. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but this is where I got it.
Okay.
C-Temp.
It looks like the
Mylar?
stuff that Al
Yeah.
and Wendy used to use.
Yeah, it's called Clear C-Temp. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, clear C-Temp. Okay, I've heard of C-Temp.
Okay.
Okay.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. So I have my wife and kids. They're like, they don't throw away that plastic stuff. You know, when you buy salads or you buy fruit bowls or you buy stuff at the store, even
Yep.
some of your real nice shirts and clothing garments, they come with in some clear box. I go, no, don't throw that away. You know, so my wife and kids, they save me popsicle sticks so I can stir epoxy. They save this stuff, and you know, I'm like, don't throw that away.
Well, heck, that was the biggest reason for using Kraft Miracle Whip or mayonnaise is it come in the perfect glass jars with tin lids for mixing paint, you know?
Yeah.
And now they put it in a plastic jar. It's like, you know, what the heck? What am I doing with this? So.
Yeah, Jim, that looks like the stuff that you used to see on the old Windy and Al Raby videos where they were doing templates.
That's it. C-Temp.
You know, what she did there,
That's it.
Charles, that looked like you had the option. You could have even installed the plastic as an inspection window. No, I'm laughing at that. I remember Lou McFarlane used to have inspection windows on the controls on his Sharks. They were on the bottom of the wing typically, but he'd have a see-through on there that he could actually, you know, he could keep up with any abnormal wear and tear and stuff in the lead out area. So
good idea. It's true.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have those.
Charles, that yellow that you were worried about translucent, you're saying it's showing the wood through?
Yeah.
Have you tried putting on just a second layer?
Yeah.
No, I haven't tried that. That might be the ticket, huh? So then what will you just kind of poke it so that the air can get through, so you kind of minimize the air bubbles?
It's a fairly small piece anyway. Actually try the Windex treatment too, to lay it down with first and get the bubbles all out, and then work your heat up to seal it down good.
Of course, then again, if
Just-
it gets opaque, it's going to be a different color.
Right, the
All
hue
right.
will change. Right.
Yeah,
Double.
it'll look different. So
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, did the best I could.
I couldn't think of the word for that.
And we have a like from Tom Rammel. Tom Rammel like provided
Oh,
a little later than usual tonight. Better late than never. Thank you, Tom. And those that
come on
are
in, Tom.
those that are watching, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and then consider joining our YouTube channel memberships. I'm a member, and several of us are members of the YouTube channel. There's 3 tiers. The lowest one is $4.99, which is like going to Starbucks and buying one of the lattes or something just once a month. And I'm doing it. I don't have to do it. And so, we just need to support the hobby. And also, let me put a plug in for Sparky. Sparky is going to need to pay for the bandwidth for Brodax and for the Nats. And so if you go to Stunthangar Forum, I think there's a thread there where you could donate. If that's too much trouble, just go ahead and donate here with the super chat. Only problem with donating here is that he doesn't get it till the following month. But if he knows it's coming, I guess he'll feel comfortable going ahead and pay for it first, knowing he's going to get, paid back later on. So if you enjoy the live streams on site at contests, please support that through your super chats and stuff like that.
Heck, do all of it.
Yeah.
all of the above, absolutely. Well, Sparky was in my neck of the woods here a couple of weekends ago, and he got a direct payment, shall we say, to help him out. So no month-long wait on that one. So
That's great. That's great.
So
Yes, if you're going to Brodax, hey, think about helping Sparky with those expenses of the live stream. And matter of fact, I think he ended up buying a new hotspot, and he had some trouble with the Simple. I think the company is called Simple something. Simple. Anyways, he had problems with the hotspot, and he tried to buy some more, and they wouldn't unlock, and end up going through all kinds of trouble. Not to mention being on the phone for hours and talking to people who don't speak English. So he's gone through a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had problems with SIM cards and all kinds of stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the funniest thing was he said he talked to him and they ended up taking all of them off the shelf because none of them would unlock.
Yes, I heard that. So did you guys see the one episode where he was singing?
No.
No.
Thanks for the warning.
Sing?
Well, he was doing the best he can. It wasn't terrible. I mean, he might want to keep his day job.
He doesn't have a day job. He's retired, remember?
But it wasn't bad. I was like, wow, he can sing pretty good. I don't know what. I think it's one of his favorite songs. I don't remember the name of the song, but yeah, while he was sanding or doing something, one of the shows I was watching, he was singing.
Somehow I just can't picture that.
I know that seems out of character, but I guess we all like a song or two, right?
Yeah, with how busy things have been, I'm a week or two behind on watching Sparky videos.
Yeah. Boy, he had some good tips too. I'm trying to remember. I just
That's
remember
the best
one.
part of Sparky.
I remember he mentioning getting that pipe insulation tape. He uses that to insulate his fuel tanks. And also it's a good heat shield from a pipe or a rear exhaust muffler. He puts that in the front part of the tank to keep the heat off the fuel. Yeah. And there was another good tip. Sometimes if you just I'm in my shop and I was working on my my plane, and I just have him playing in the background, and I just listen to him. And from time to time, there's some great tips. And thank you, Philip Bailey, for the like. Thank you very much. That puts us up to 26 likes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I gave you a like too, of course.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Bob. Appreciate that.
That series that he did on the Vector 40 repair is really good for people that are inexperienced in building and repairing. Like I didn't really pick anything up new from that, but it's good reinforcement, of course. And
That
you know, for
mean you
somebody
like me
new,
have
and
crashed too much?
for somebody new in it, they're going to break a nose off. So
Oh yeah,
it's good, good education.
Yeah, I guess what amazed me is, you know, when you break something like it, it's always intimidating. Oh my God, I got this repair job. He did the whole thing in a single afternoon and evening, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they got back from their trip. They got back from Indiana at like 1 PM, and he did the repair. He's taping it and everything. It was ready to go that night. It was ready to fly again.
Yeah.
So it just,
well, you got to remember we're talking about Sparky now.
well, yeah, but he just went ahead and, you know, you just jump in and do the work, and, you know, that a lot
Quit
of times
procrastinating, just do it. Yeah.
Don't,
Yeah,
you know,
just be
don't,
methodical about it, like he does.
don't be, don't let the analysis paralysis set in.
Mhm.
Okay, we got to fix this. Do A, do B, do C, and oh yeah, now we got to do, you know, that's going to lead to some other things. So, yeah. but
Although it
you're-
was amusing listening to him beating himself up endlessly about putting monocoat on.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah, it's not like
Plenty
the
cool.
monocoats a lot.
Yeah.
No.
And we got an ahoy from Brent Williams, the Northwestern Regionals Advance winner, 2023. Brent Williams.
All right, Brett. Good deal. Good.
Is
good
that the
job.
guy with the noisy props? Oh.
Yes.
Noisy something. We don't know what it is.
Howard says that's the guy with the noisy props. So
I don't know if it's the prop or it might be the motor. I mean, it sounds, I don't know. I think he was using the badass prop.
mhm.
It was badass.
Badass 12.6 prop.
Was using a badass motor too, wasn't he?
That I don't know.
Nasty donkey. Nasty donkey.
Yeah, that's it. We can't say the other words on a family channel, right? So,
Nasty donkey.
it.
But that's the name of the prop. That's what it's called. I wasn't
Well,
saying
that is what
prop
it's called.
is a donkey.
It's just named after a donkey.
mhm.
That's it. Well, I tell you what, I didn't realize that there could be that much difference in just propellers. But at Triple Tree, several people were over testing and changing props and trying to optimize the prop, Trayan included. And Trayan went from one of the better props, one of the props I know to be one of the better props, to another one. And I couldn't believe the difference in sound, how much less there was. We both like the Zora prop. I mean, I have some, I think I bought stock in the company. I bought 6 or 7 of them and couldn't believe what I paid. But then I've used 2 of them, and now I'm using, now I've forgotten what they are. But anyway, the ones he's using now, because they're so much quieter. It's ridiculous. They're so much quieter. And it's
Howard, I'm sorry, Phil. Sorry, Phil. I'm sorry.
It's a nasty donkey prop.
Well, I don't know. I went to Las Vegas here a couple of years ago, and Howard said he saw me flying off to the side and stuff, and he wondered what kind of prop I was running. And then I did some square corners. He goes, "Oh, he's using APCs." So, so anyhow,
they do like to in the corners.
Yeah,
they make a little racket in the corners.
I have a prop noise story if anybody's interested.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Oh,
Sure.
I've been using Igor 12-inch props, 12-inch 3-blade props. And when I been flying, was making a lot of racket. So I took it off the airplane, figuring that it had thrown a balance weight or something, and all was well. And then I put it down on a table and measured the height of the blade over the table at the tip.
Right.
And if the heights are different, it makes noise. And sure enough, I sanded the thing and I got the height the same within 1/100 of an inch, and now it's nice and quiet.
Thanks for that tip. That's a good tip.
I had no idea.
And
I had no idea they'd do that.
Yeah, another thing I learned from Mr. Walker was actually secondhand from Matt Pietkowski, as you can take a disc of 64th plywood, put it behind your prop, and that'll quiet it down.
Explain, just like a washer behind the prop that's on the thrust washer, or
Yeah, I
you know,
got
like,
some-
like a
got some
7/8
somewhere.
diameter or something?
Here's a place where some of those were.
Okay, all right, all right. So it's basically a just a
Little
cushion.
compliance.
Yeah, I could fetch one and show you, I reckon.
I guess a vibration
I-
damper of sorts, maybe.
Yeah, it adds a little spring rate to the clamp system.
Could
I
be.
would think. Yeah. So Howard, when you said you were truing up the tips and you were
Doing up the props, just by measuring how far the tip was off the table.
and you were sanding on the back plate.
Yeah,
Back of the
okay,
hub,
Okay.
okay.
Okay. Back. Yeah. Okay.
or the hub of the prop. I was standing on the 64th inch plywood disc is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I remember, and I'd like to have a
That's a good
follow-up,
tip.
but, Paul mentioned to me once that he had quieted props by, I think just APCs. He was taking, he said just a coarse mill file or something like that, and filing just behind the leading edge on just the back side of the prop. Do you know anything of that? He was
No.
roughening that up. And I didn't get into any details on how he was doing it or anything like that, but he mentioned that, and he said that it quieted them down. I've never been brave enough to try anything like that myself, but
People were epoxying that carbon mat. on
yeah, they're
the-
doing that on the thin one, yeah, on the 13.4.5, so it's very thin, yeah.
Yeah, the deal with the props in corners is the judges will hear these corners on square eights and square loops and go by the time between corners.
Mhm.
And in the wind, the time between corners is not what you want to look for or listen for. You want to see the distance between corners, and that has to be the same.
Mhm.
And if they hear irregular time between corners, they'll reduce your score. So just because of that, we went to different props. The APCs are wonderful props. They're kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Their biggest knock is that they're heavy.
Yeah.
And then
And with
there was
the
that.
active timer, you want a light prop. So
Yeah.
So I have
A friend of mine's.
Go ahead, Jim.
The RC pylon world, they use APC props, and my friend said, when you get those props, you probably take a sandpaper and break that trailing edge a little bit so you don't cut your finger on it. He said, don't do that. They have found that the trailing edge, sharp as comes out of the box, makes a difference for them in the go fast world. So,
ooh, combat.
Interesting to hear.
It is. I have a comment from Brent Williams. He says, I get no respect. I'm flying the Rodney Dangerfield 12 by 6 prop.
It's not you we disrespect, Brent. It's your props.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's flying a Rodney Dangerfield prop.
Mhm.
Yeah. Didn't
Well,
the girl-
Rodney was kind of a nasty donkey too, so I guess that's all right.
Yeah. So I was texting with Chris last week, asked him how he did at the regionals, and all he said was okay. So I looked it up and I says, pretty darn good okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people
You
would
did
consider
better
that to
than me.
be.
So I yelled to people, congratulations, Chris, and I hope you get the gender affirming care you've been wanting.
Oh, Howard. My word. Boy, I'm telling you. I thought I got razzed by my guys. Good gracious.
Hey, Charles, I got the weekly email blast from Don Barrett. There's going to be a Knights Joust in August.
Oh, great. Fantastic. I didn't check my email. I've been so busy, but yeah, wow, it's great.
It said August 5 and 6, and it's on my calendar. I'm going to try to go.
Oh, well, I'm definitely going.
That's the team trials. You got to go to the team trial.
So that's the disc that you want to show us?
Yeah.
All right. What kind of prop is that? That's the
Igor
prop?
Yeah.
Okay, and that disc is epoxied on or something like that?
No, well, just enough glue to hold it onto the prop when it's.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, you can hold it on with a bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard to keep it indexed
it
with a
was
bolt.
Yeah,
attached.
you probably.
But I guess that really wouldn't affect the dampening, though, if whether it was attached or not. But,
And you felt that quiets it down.
Yeah.
I'll give that a try.
It's a mystery. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't want my airplane to sound like Prince. That's all.
Yeah.
Charles, I got to punch out.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming in, Jim. I appreciate it.
Take care,
See
Jim.
everybody.
Good to see you, buddy.
Bye.
Good to see you, buddy.
Thanks for the flap and wing area discussion. That was interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Have you ever tried that?
It's too sophisticated for me.
Oh, good grief.
Well, I hope to get into that someday, the tabs and stuff.
Oh, my word. Too sophisticated for Howard.
Let's see you, man. Thanks a bunch. So Brent Williams says zing.
Well,
Nah,
I better
but-
shut down too, guys. I got to be up around 5 o'clock or so in the morning.
Oh, okay.
It's been
Hey,
a
well-
long few days.
Yeah, you do.
Me too.
All right.
You take care of yourself.
See you guys.
I see you, man.
See ya.
Mark, see you next week.
Mark,
for
you
sure,
leaving
Mark.
too?
I am.
Hey,
Oh,
Mark,
shucks.
thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, Mark.
No problem. I'm
Take
leaving
care of
in the
yourself. We'll see you
morning.
next week.
I'm leaving in the morning to cut the grass at Brodak with the scissor.
All
Yeah.
right.
Oh, come on.
Your forearms
You
are going to
take-
be crappy when you get done doing that.
I get no respect. No respect.
Yeah.
I'll bring my power clippers. How's that? So.
Oh, my word.
I should have
You guys,
volunteered to send
these
him my
guys are too
electric
many.
scissors.
These guys are too many, that's for sure.
Yeah, we are.
The thing with Mark is that you have to listen for a second to make sure that he's serious or not serious. You know what I mean? So.
And he's stoic
You
like
gotta
Pat
do
Paulson.
that. You gotta do that double take there and just make sure that you heard it right. So.
Sure.
You
is.
can't just watch his face because he's like Pat Paulson. There's just no indication of whether he's BSing you or telling you the truth. And some nights he can really put out some zingers.
Yeah.
He's a mess.
So,
Good
Mark
fella.
Kerber, did you say that you had or had not yet tested your new sexy landing gear on the Bearcat?
Oh, you're muted, Mark.
I have not.
Okay.
I'm building up my
Shorter and
courage.
way forward.
I'm building
Right.
up my courage.
Oh, someday Al will forgive you. All right. So.
So what is Keith Trossel suggests? I mean, he's going to Bearcat. Is his Bearcat that different, or so you really can't be of any help? Or
I haven't talked to Keith about this yet. He hasn't been on the program, and I haven't seen him otherwise. And I never remember seeing Keith fly that Bearcat on anything but pavement, but
I remember seeing him
When that-
fly it we had a contest here in Ramona. Matter of fact, Dave Sabon was the host, was the CD. And that's the first time I ever seen Keith Russell, and he was flying on grass because the contest was on grass. And I don't know which Bearcat Dave Sabon built, but Dave Sabon was flying his Bearcat on grass all the time in front of me, landing beautiful landings. And he had the door legs, gear doors as well. No shock absorbers, I don't think, but he was landing on grass all the time.
was it really
was a
short?
4.
I didn't get that. Say it again.
Was it really short?
I don't remember. And I don't know if Dave Sabon watches this show or not. I have no idea.
By the way, Keith saves his stuff and everything. You might even be able to install his Bearcat landing gear on your airplane.
I bet he's got the pieces in the basement.
You might be right. He
Yeah.
offered me his Bearcat, and it dawned on me about a year into the project that it would have been easier for me to repair his broken Bearcat than to build my new one from scratch.
No, don't believe that. Don't believe that. That's like an ARF. I'm firmly convinced you can build a kit in the time it takes you to build an ARF and get it right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the main thing, the get it right part, when you start looking.
He started out right, though.
Like building a ship in a bottle sometimes, repairing things and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, Keith was definitely right. I think his was a 4, but his was right. It was the same one that Al flew at the Nats in 69 or 70, whatever it was. It's the rounded one rather than the square sided one. The 3, I think, has flat sides or starts out that way, and you can carve it. The other one he did molded with 332nd. That's the one I have. And it's
I could never keep track of Al's numbers, 2, 3, 4, whatever.
No.
I know I think of it as the 69 Bearcat was certainly
Well, no,
the 70,
the way he
71 were all
describes it
later.
is that the airplane he flew at the 69 Nats was the Bearcat 1.
That was a 1.
That was the one.
Because
The-
he
the-
actually, it
The
seemed to me he
Bearcat that
was
got
mixing
published,
numbers. Yeah.
the Bearcat that got published in American Modeler, right after that,
American
he
Modeler.
calls the Bearcat 2 because he made some changes to the drawings and things from what
Okay.
he actually flew in 69.
Mhm.
And then the plane he flew in 70 was the Bearcat 3. That was the molded fuselage.
That was first of the moldies.
It had bigger flaps.
Okay.
Those are the 2 changes that are kind of major.
Mhm.
I remember Dave Sabon saying he'll never build another Bearcat. That was the most difficult plane he ever built in his life.
Well, it's certainly the most difficult one I've ever built. But it flies really well so far.
Mhm.
It wasn't the easiest plane to build, that's for
That's
sure.
what Keith kept telling me all the way along. He says it really flies well. And after he saw it fly on the first day we flew it, he says that should make you a good airplane for a long time.
Mhm.
Well, Jim Lynch and I talked at length about Bearcats, and Jim was the one that flew. I mean, I know Al designed it. Al designed Jim's, but I got to see Jim's, and I got to see Jim's fly, and I was totally taken. And he told me a lot of things about it, but he said, if you'll build one and put a Tiger 60 in it, it should be a weapon. Because when he flew his 46 that was the engine of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then Al come along with a Sea Fury with a 60. But he said, you build that Bearcat, put a 60 in it and do it right. That thing will be a weapon. So I kept playing around until I got it just about finished. And I'm hoping one of these days to do it. In mine, I've always, since I decided to do it, it was always going to be number 100 off the Boxer because it has a stripe that comes down 45 degrees in the front and then comes down the length of it. And it was off the Boxer, a B. Well, my name's Bailey. So, I figured, what the hell? It's now going to have an L on it. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Charles.
won't be it won't be the 100, and it'll have an L on it. Big Jim.
Yes, John.
I'm ready to share some of these photos from Marseille.
Oh, great. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, come on. Still see me, or do you see what?
Well,
Says
it
not
looks like you
responding.
started screen.
There.
Started.
Okay, there is Saturday. That's the bottom view of it on his bench.
Can you make it bigger, John?
I'm working on that.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. That's the bottom view. All right. So let's see. Get rid of this. Winds up on the wrong side here. But I can't. Oh, here we go. There's the
Oh,
OS
that's the
Max.
old style OS Max.
That's the old style one, which should work fine. It'd be more of a 424 brake engine. But
Yeah, I'd put a 9.6 on that.
yeah, 9.6 I think it'd be fine. And then there's top view of his airplane.
That's
Isn't that
nice.
pretty?
That
Now
is
that's
pretty.
not. That's he had to rebuild it. Him had an unfortunate accident with it. So this is he hasn't put the pods on it yet, and he's building it. He's building his 6th Pathfinder. I think he left a picture of that here too. There, that's just the nose of it, just as a teaser. So,
Oh, wow.
but I like the red, white, and blue coloration he did it. It's really kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And that is all monocode. So, well, I thought somebody was making a comment there.
Yeah.
He's also been building a Nobler, and there's a couple of pictures of there's the Nobler wing, and you can see the fuselage there.
Nice.
And I mean, the guy builds fast, you know.
Looks like the original Nobler kit from Brodak.
It possibly is. He just there's this got it all taped together, and he just, of course, you know, for them right now, they're getting into their building season real strong, you know, because it's going into winter for them. So anyway, I would say, Marcel, looking at the engine you show there, it's the old S engine, which is related to the OS 35S, which is a heck of a good stun engine. Nice 2.4 brake.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never run the 20, so I don't know if it has the same brake characteristics. But I'd say a 9.4 would be a good prop to start. You might try a 10.4, cut it down, start off at about 9.5, 4, and then clip it from there. So anyway, he's been sending me some messages on Messenger. So man, he's fast typing too. So okay, so that's it. What?
I would try instead of a 9.4, I'd try a 9.5 and then see which way that one went, because that's not an RPM. That's not an RPM motor like an FP. That's a torque motor.
Yeah.
A 4, you're going to be spinning your wheels.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, it makes sense. Let me put just to the parting there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
That's pretty.
And that's what Marcel has been up to. It took me so long to get back because I had a problem. My computer just went, you know, had one of those moments.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know.
I'm firmly convinced To err is human. To really screw up requires a computer.
Well put, Bill. Well put.
Yeah, yeah.
That's very good.
Well, so anyway, I'm glad to hear that Mark's doing well with his Bearcat.
Mhm.
So it looks
Me
awful
too.
nice, Mark.
Beautiful airplane.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think this is one of your best efforts so far.
I can't wait to see Denny's. It's going to be electric.
Denny's building one?
Well, mine is a toy compared to Mark's, though. I got the Brodak.
It's the same kit. It's the same airplane, not the same
Yeah, it's the
kit.
same airplane, but Mark's got one of Al's. I've got the Brodak kit, which would fit inside of Mark's, but
That was Pat Johnson designed
yeah, it's
that
the
one. I
Pat
believe.
Johnson design. I'm sure it's a good flying airplane, but
Oh,
it's
I'm
nothing
sure it
like
is too. It's just a little smaller.
Yeah, it's a lot smaller than Mark's.
Well, super. We're gonna have Bearcats all over the place.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna build
It'll
another
be
Pat
next year for mine. I put mine on the shelf. I got too many projects.
Well, I'm gonna build another
Mine won't
Pathfinder.
Mine won't be around till next year. I'm hoping to finish the Pathfinder and the Ombre this year, but the Bearcat and the Mustang and the whatever.
Which
I can't
Pathfinder
think
are
what
you
it is.
talking about finishing?
The profile, the three or four, whatever you're going to call it. I don't know. I'm gonna finish it. I started working on it again today. Sanding. I got to redo the fuselage, but you get the fuselage flat and you think you've got it. Then you've got to shape it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get there, but it ain't going to be in the next week or two.
It's not,
I was
it's
hoping.
not easy. I don't know what I was thinking when I laid that out.
That's all right. It's all right. That thing is that fuselage is going to do fine because I also downstairs have a kit to the conventional airplane, and that fuselage will fit just fine. I just reshaped the front end a little bit, and I'm gonna put the Hershey bar wing in it and put two nacelles on it.
Okay.
That's gonna be my twin.
That'll work.
Gonna be my twin. Mm-hmm.
Gordy likes
Everything.
to shorten the tail moment about down to 16.5 inches instead of 17.5.
Well, I can do that.
Just a little word to the wise on that.
Shorten the tail 1 inch. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a long tail moment. I mean, it is a long
Well, it
tail
is, you know. I always liked it because it kind of gave a little elegance to the flight there, you know.
It does. And it still turns like bang.
Yes.
I mean, that thing got some snap to it. The first time I flew one of those airplanes, it was probably the worst looking one I've ever flown. And I really was not expecting it to fly as well as it did. So I couldn't wait to fly one that looked good. So I had to build one. So I ended up selling it before I ever got to fly it. But I did get to fly it. And I wish I hadn't sold it. But anyway, they're great airplanes. It don't look like it should fly as well as it flies.
Well, especially with the Hershey bar wing, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Hershey bar wings aren't supposed to fly like that.
No, they're not. They're not. And it just, I mean, that thing's got a corner on it like you can't believe. And it just does everything well. It comes down and locks, does everything an SV-11 does, except to have a built-up fuselage. And
yeah,
I just think it's going to be a great airplane. That's the reason I can't wait to fly this new one with the dihedral in it. Not dihedral.
Tapered leading edge.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's going to fly even better. And if it does, it's going to really be nice. Plus, this one's
with
got
a longer airplane, it has to be longer because of the longer cord in the center section.
Yeah, it's an inch longer. But it's a neat looking airplane. It's 12 o'clock here, guys.
Well,
But anyway,
that means it's straight up 9 o'clock here. So let me end the live stream part of the show. I want to thank everybody who came in tonight. Some had to leave early, but we had a really good show again. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Always good on Monday night.
Hopefully you have a chance to work on your plane this week and fly and then come back Friday night and tell us all about it. So
Friday night, I will be on my way to Birdax.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's
I
right.
wish I was able to go.
Ooh, that's right. Brodax. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to call for some reinforcements during Brodak week to come in to help carry. I'm going to lose a lot of talented people. Anyways,
Well, we
thank you.
may still be able to get on from the hotel. I'll see.
That'd be appreciated. Thank you very much. Fair winds, tight line.